What's happening, everybody? Welcome back to another lesson. I hope you're all hip-hop and happening today. That's exactly why I should plan out what I say before I just hit record, but you know how we do it here. We just roll with it. So we are talking about the issue with the pentatonic scale. You're probably like, dude, you're a jerk. Why are you picking on the pentatonic scale? And I'm like, dude, I'm not. It's sweet. Don't worry. If you want tabs for what we are about to cover, that is down below in the description. You can also check out my free guitar course, which I think would actually apply with what we're covering today, the concept, very, very well. That is also linked down below if you want to check that out. So we're going to cut the chit chat and get right into this. So let's figure out what's the biggest issue with the pentatonic scale. Alrighty, so first we need to know where we are working today. So we're going to be working up here in box 1 of our E minor pentatonic scale, and I already told you what the issue is just by saying the name of it. And it is in fact that they are in boxes. That's the big issue, at least it was for me, with the pentatonic scale. They're small, they're very confined, and they're in boxes. Very convenient and great, but what happens is you get stuck in those boxes very, very easily. It's like if you learn too much of one person's style, it can become very troublesome to avoid playing like that person. Like I spent, years learning Eric Johnson, and for the longest time, the more I learned, the more I just sounded like Eric Johnson. So the more we just kind of stick to these boxes, the more you're going to get stuck in them. And like I said, there's nothing wrong with playing in the boxes. It's the pentatonic scale, in my opinion, the best scale ever. But here is kind of what I did to get out of that a little bit, I always liked a certain sound, and I didn't really know how to get it until, after I'd been playing for years and years. And what I started doing was I started viewing 2 boxes at the same time. You can do 3 if you want, you can do 4 if you're crazy, and if you're a madman, you do 5. So what I'm talking about is if you a lot of people want to turn the pentatonic scale into a 3-note per string idea, and you can, and that's great, and there's ways around what I'm getting ready to show you, but basically if you did it like this, you end up with a lot of double notes. What I mean by that is the exact same note. E note, E note, B note, B note, all the way through the scale. And to me, I've never liked that sound. So what I started doing was I treated them kind of the same in a sense, and what I came up with was this, and I really liked the sound of it. Notice how it still resolves just like a normal pentatonic lick. So if you don't know your pentatonic scale, let me run through that real quick. 12-15 on the low E, 12-14 on the A, 12-14 on the D, 12-14 on the G, 12-15 on the B, and then 12-15 on the high string. Now, of course, the secret here is that we are looking at 2 boxes at the same time versus let's play in box 1, then let's go to box 2. We're basically treating box 1 and 2 as the same box. So up here is box number 2. So let's kind of go over that one. So you have 15-17 on the low E string, 14-17 on the A, 14-17 on the D, 14-16 on the G, and then 17-15 on the B and high string. There we go. So now we have 2 boxes here, and it's very typical to kind of like play in one box, and keep sliding through them, which is fine. Like I'm not trying to discourage anybody from doing that. We're just trying to open up a new avenue. So what I did was this. I went essentially giving myself much bigger intervals between my notes. Sorry. You can always roll it back into normal pentatonic. Here's what's happening. Basically, I'm going to go 17 to 12 on the high string. Now I do a pull off. Then I'm going to go to 15 on the B, 16 on the G, pull off to 12. Then I go to 14 on the D. Then I go up here to 17 to 12 on the A string, and then 15 on the low E string. Then I'm open to resolve any E I want. So let's kind of look at that again. Now for picking, I'm doing like a sweep picking kind of fashion. If you saw my video how to cheat at sweep picking, I'm using the exact same technique. Essentially, I'm doing 2 notes, 1 note, 2 note, 1 note, or you can do the other way around, 1 note, 2 note, 1 note, 2 note. But every time that there are more than 1 note on a string, I'm either hammering on or I'm doing a pull off 99% of the time. So here we have, oh sorry. Okay. Now the only time I have both notes picked on the same string is if I'm ascending it to do the turnaround. So watch my hand, watch my right hand for a second. So I go. See how that? I went 12, 17. That way I can turn it around and start my descending pattern, which will be all up picks. So maybe move it down and combine box 5 and 1. You know, you can do this with any 2 pentatonic boxes. I say 2 because 3 is kind of like stretching your vision a little bit far. Some people might be able to do it. I've always just did 2 at a time. And basically, you know, if we did 5 and 1, it'd look like this. You know, maybe you'll go from that one up to the other one. Now, like I said, how I kind of applied this stuff is I didn't just up and down the scales like that. I always used it to tie in with my normal kind of like box style of. So if I'm kind of playing in box 1. You know, I'll throw it in there, and to me, it just adds a lot of flavor. It kind of gets you to pay attention to what I'm. You know, if I just went, you know, that's very pentatonic sounding. But if I go, there were moments in there where I stretched my hand out, and I was like, oh, this, because I'm applying the same idea as like I said in the other video that I do with arpeggios. You know, and you can do different patterns. You know, with it, and that's like a minor 7 idea, but you know, maybe add like a bend on it or something. To me, it's just getting my brain kind of working, but just take that one simple idea that I just did there and really build off of it. I mean, you can add extra notes, because since we're not doing just 3 notes per string, we can actually get away with doing 3 notes on some strings, but if we go, oh baby, hold on. Ah, no repeating notes now. Boom, there you have it. So maybe you like that sound. It's basically like a 4-note grouping. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. So there you have it. That was always my biggest issue with the pentatonic scale. Hopefully you found that one helpful. If you want to, you can, like I said, get those tabs down below and really use this to hopefully branch out those pentatonic licks for you. So other than that, guys, I'm out of here. Peace out. Have a good rest of your day, and I'll see you later. Whoop!